way, it won't stop. People throwing shade, I be throwing sun rays. Some people want fame, I be putting you
I wrote about the stars, I wrote about the moon, I wrote about things in the sky that go boom. I wrote about death, I wrote about life. I wrote in the morning, afternoon, and at night. I constantly search for new ideas. I talk to my elders, my friends, and my peers. I study astronomy, history, and religion. My analytical mind is constantly on a mission, struggling and striving for the perfect poem, bracing myself for the perfect brainstorm. The more that I write, the more that I note. My best poem yet is yet to be wrote. Yeah, see me.
Peace, peace, peace. What's going on, everybody? Y'all already know. Like I say, it's Trio Dios in the building. East, West Indians, same people. And y'all know I got my sister with me. She's back.
You already know. You already know.
Y'all seen it. Where you at? You in the house. Y'all seen me in the house.
I'm in the motherfucking house. Look behind you.
For real. So y'all already know it's gonna be a great night. Greetings to sister girl behind the mic, Catherine Coleman. You know, all who may join. You know, we definitely finna get this. Definitely finna get this knowledge in.
Peace.
It's no military secret. And girl behind the mic, we would love to have you come on up if you feel, you know, intelligent minds think alike. You know how it go. For sure. Yeah, we appreciate that support, Catherine. Let's see. Yeah, as a matter of fact, we finna get straight with it. Cause I know Sister Yasin, she really been waiting. You know, just like any lawyer subscriber. Also, like I'm sure y'all been waiting, and I appreciate you. Listen, okay, like, share, subscribe. Y'all already know. Hit that like button, please. Subscribe. Matter of fact, share this. Anybody who think they know all about being Indian, what we eat, what we ain't, yeah, all that, yeah, go get them. You know, to all my Aboriginal community, go get them. It just is what it is. They're gonna learn today. You know, like I said, this is part 2 of this. You know, a part 2 is another installment of East and West Indians. East and West Indians are the same people. You know, I'm finna make sure y'all know this ain't no military secret. We got my boy Earth God in the building. That's for sure.
Peace.
But yeah, getting right with it. I don't already know. Okay, matter of fact, let's go back to the beginning. Let me see. All right. They trying me, so I gotta go back. Let me show y'all. They trying me now. This ain't supposed to be that far gone. They playing with me. Hold on. Hold up. They playing with me. All right. All right. They ain't gonna let it work, but it's okay. Make sure the autoplay is off. Off. Okay. So boom. Just getting with it. Sister, are you familiar with the Popol Vuh or the Rig Veda?
Very scarcely.
Yeah, I mean, if you're anything like me, you've heard of it, but we don't necessarily, you know, we're not all into it. You know, we might know more about the Egyptian Book of the Dead,
right,
than the Popol Vuh,
okay,
or the Rig Veda. You know, and these are these are essentially the Bibles of these different cultures, right?
Right.
And being such a holy book, it can be relied
So
upon.
what year are we talking about?
Oh, all of them are ancient. The Popol Vuh is considered the youngest, but we know even
Are we pre-diagnostic?
the Rig Veda, yes,
Okay.
for sure. But we can't put a date on American cultures as far as, we don't really necessarily know, but we know it's ancient Mayan. So, it's older than all of the Columbus myths, is what I'm saying.
Okay.
Before Christianity made it to this part of the world, that type of thing.
Yeah.
So the Popol Vuh, anytime we're dealing with holy books, of course, we're gonna have creation stories, right?
Absolutely.
So this is where I show the connection of these two creation stories. These two cultures by pointing out their creation stories. I'm gonna let you read it, sis.
So I'm reading Popol Vuh.
The top up there, the creation myth.
So the creation myth also seemed to be very similar in both cultures. Both believed in a cycle of creation. The logo is in the way up there, but the Trio Dios logos with top right is sort of skewing. You got it, bro? You want me to move it? Hold on. Oh, you did it? Okay. So we were saying that both cultures believe that it took the gods 5 attempts to create the earth and mankind. And they finally got it right in the 5th attempt. In fact, there are many similarities between the Indian Rig Veda and the Mexican Popol Vuh. So hymn 121 of the book 10 in the Rig Veda is similar to the creation description of the Popol Vuh. Both are similar in describing how the universe was formed and our purpose. Imagine that. Peace to the goddess. Peace to the goddess.
A matter of fact, we got my brother McKinley Cougar in. We got a third Dios in the building. You know what I'm saying? It's always good. It's always good to have you in the building, brother. What's going on?
What's good, family? How y'all doing, man? I'm sorry, I accidentally my Google settings blocked the mic and camera when I got in first. But I'm here now, man. I appreciate y'all and all your work. What's good, Taz? How you doing, Miss Lady?
I'm great. How are you, bro?
Yeah,
I'm doing good. I'm doing good.
Hey, I was gonna say, hopefully Taz joins the building when you get a chance.
Okay, I thought I saw him in there.
Yeah. I always, it's really a Trio Dio show, so he may be joining. He may be joining, but I know, I know he definitely gonna be. Yeah, he gonna be satisfied with what you bring to the table. But you ain't missed nothing yet, because I just got. Hold on, I just got to the first page because this is actually the cover. When we was talking about,
I had a question about the cover right quick, if you don't mind.
Yeah.
Okay, so we were talking about 2 different descriptions, but I see 4 different books.
Oh yeah. I just included more than one holy book from that culture. But you see the one on top, and for some, they actually made it gold in this illustration. Okay. But yeah, the Rig Veda is, the elder, but all of those are, anytime you see Veda, they're all called the Vedas. Veda means knowledge. You feel me?
Really?
So
it has no specific. It's not like Indian knowledge or Mayan knowledge.
It's Dravidian. It's ancient. It's ancient. Okay. It's connected. I'm showing the connection to Maya. I'm showing the connection to the Americas. Okay. Yeah. It's It's more than what meets the eye. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, people got to actually see the culture. But I was showing how that both of these coaches in their cycle of creation, they both believed that it took the gods 5 attempts to create the earth and mankind. And they finally got it right in the 5th attempt. You know, in fact, there are many similarities between the Indian Rigveda and the Mexican Popol Vuh. You know, hymn 121 of book 10 in Rigveda is similar to the creation description of Popol Vuh. Both are similar in describing how the universe was formed and our purpose.
Right.
I mean, you know, I definitely am of the thinking that there's no such thing as coincidence. You feel me? So,
Yeah.
I mean, dang, now if you fool me once, I was like, no, that's just coincidence. You know, that's shame on you, they say, you feel me? But if I keep getting fooled, then that's shame on me. You know, because like I say, there's no such thing as coincidence. We're gonna see how many coincidences there really are.
Mm.
And like matter of fact, speaking of that creation story of both of them, this is like a chart showing you the creation gods, and the only things that are different are basically in the beginning. Like you could say the first humans in one description, probably the Rigveda, the Vukul Hunapu and Han Hunapu, they say the first humans, you know, are brothers, or in this creation story. And on this one, you have the underworld goddess Shikik, and then brothers are killed by Zabalba, the underworld god, right? You know, a Shibalba, like Shibala or Shambhala. But the goddess gives birth to twin sons of Hunapu, right? And now this is where these two stories are exactly the same. Like the hero twins. In both stories, they have heroes that are twin brothers, and they have human fathers, and they have a goddess mother. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
And the name is even the same. How we said the first humans are brothers, Vukul, Hunapu, and Hunapu. Well, the goddess gives birth to two sons of Hunapu. The exact same name, just two different cultures. And then they both happen to be twins. And they're the heroes of the story. And in both situations, they're twin brothers. And we're looking at the exact same name, even though in this instance it's looked at as a last name, or in both instances a last name, but it's the same name, is what I'm getting at. And the hero twins defeat the underworld gods in a ball game. If you know, like the Mayans had an ancient basketball sort of game.
Wow.
And out the bodies of the Vukul, Hunapu, and Hunapu in the sky as sun and moon. You know? Yeah. So yeah, like another coincidence. Or I guess that's just a coincidence. You know, it's just a coincidence.
Yeah.
Hey, and Brother McKinley.
I think he vamped a long time ago.
Oh no, matter of fact, he's right here. He's right here.
Okay.
I'm here. Yeah, I hope I got everything set up right. I was trying to zoom in on the screen, and I closed out. But my fault. So that idea of two sons,
peace and love.
It made me think of, you know, two solar systems. I guess it's the worst way to say it.
Not best way.
Actual suns systems, you know. And that seems to be something that I'm hearing a lot of lately, man. Are these two suns that reveal themselves, I guess would be the best way to say it, during these times.
Hey, matter of fact, I'm gonna let both of y'all answer this, and you might well go first, Brother McKinley. But Joan Rita, which is really my nana, but she asked a question. She say, what age came first, the Olmec or Maya? She's asking for the family of indigo seeds. She says she want to know what age came first, the Olmec or the Maya? McKinley.
Well, I'm not too sure. You know what I mean? But I'm kind of one of those that's, I guess I'm a hopeless optimist. So I constantly think of the future more than I think of the past. And so I think that one question is one of those that has been, they've, what's the word, man? Appropriated a lot of things from a lot of different cultures, And so I think that I don't know which one of those came first. Like I said, I'm an optimist. Hopefully what they left behind will guide us for the future,
And Sister Yasini, so what age came first, the Olmec?
And so I'm sort of glad that the brother spoke first, because now I can feel free in saying on a different tangent that all of them are us still. Now,
right?
If they're gone already, Olmecs, Mayans, I promise we've all just been reincarnated back to this earth, back at different times, different spaces. But if I had to say who's oldest, just off of my research, I will be going with the Mayans. I will, and I know because Olmec, the head that we see down at bottom, is like I would think if Olmecs is going to be representing giants or age of giants, just based off of their displays, I'm gonna say Mayans might be representing some other time, like maybe before that, because I'm getting the story that the giants wouldn't have been that old. The giants would have been the ones who fell or fell the biblical ones that David beat or defeated. I'm gonna think of them as giants. I'm gonna think of them as Olmecs. I'm gonna think as Mayans as something before that time. Based off of my research and what I've been seeing, what's oldest, I know you're actually connecting them all, at least with part one.
Well, I'm gonna let you read this, and I think it's gonna answer the question.
Okay, then. I gave it a fair shot.
Yeah, yes, ma'am. For sure.
Okay. So the Olmecs, predecessors of Toltecs, Mayans and Toltecs, had a calendar that starts from 3113 BC. Yeah. Okay. Interestingly, the Great Mahabharata War in the East ended almost during the same time. Also, Jamyaya, the successor of the Pandavas and Kauravas, and I know I'm mixing accents, became an emperor in the Indian subcontinent around the same century.
Wow.
Yeah.
So who is the predecessor?
The Olmecs.
Yes. That's what it is. You know what I mean? But they are the same people.
And that's my point. No matter who's reincarnated at what time, they're all us and we're them. Mm-hmm. But I get your breakdown and what you want to do. Well, when it comes down to it, And Calico, you and I talked about this the other day. It's like we're everything and everyone on this planet. We're all connected to the all. So
Yep.
that's,
Yep.
and what you're really doing is showing us is that it was all, no matter if it was over here or whether it was over there. Why does the same art
Yep.
and displays keep showing up very similar in different parts of the world?
Precisely.
You
Yes.
know, you know what I'm tripping on is I'm over here trying to figure out how to pronounce these words,
Yeah,
and that
Mahabharata.
ma bra,
Yep.
ka, it has these
Okay.
similarities. Right. And so I'm like, yo, it is the same,
Look,
I'm like, because that's
look.
the
Watch
same
this.
stuff he's doing.
Watch this. We like nowadays they have a saying in the young culture, like they stress the fact about that's my brother. You know what I'm saying? That's my brother. That's my brother. You know what I mean? They got to say it a certain way and everything. That's my brother. But they don't know they basically still speaking these ancient tongues, like we say Mahabharata, Mahabharata,
Okay.
Mahabharata.
So
So guess
can I,
what? Mahabharata mean the brata means what? It means
Come
brother.
on,
It
brother?
means brother
Yeah.
as well as father. You feel me? So that's my
man.
brother. That's my brother. That's my brother. You know what I mean? That's how they. That's all you hear these young rappers and the new age people saying. You know, they'll
Okay.
die. They'll die by their brother.
Brother.
Yeah.
Let me say that
Wow.
I'm looking at that timeline, like 113 BC.
Five
Okay,
thousand years
so
ago.
huh?
5,000 years ago.
I'm saying, but isn't that around the time that the first dynasty kicked in? That the first dynasty kicked in.
Oh yeah. See, this is
Okay,
just about the America and the West Indies and the East Indies and showing their grand conjunction. But I definitely have got to show the Egyptian and Dravidian connection. They got
My
to know.
yeah,
man.
I'm looking at a timeline period, but we can all from the information that's out there that we've been learning, we can see a time when the first dynasty kicked in, and it was somewhere in that those what they're claiming in the Bible to be the Moses times, Moses days, right? Or ancient civilization. When they say ancient, they're going back around that time, give or take a few thousand years, I'm saying. So if if history starts being made up when the Greek or ancient Egypt has now come into, duality or upper lower Nile, I'm saying, aren't we dealing with all of those stories, all of that information that comes in around that time?
You know what I like about
Period. Period.
what I like about it is just reading over it, man. And the Great Brothers War, huh? My brother war that happened, right? And it looked like all the Mayans were prepared for war
Yeah.
during this reset, and
Mhm.
their obsession with time. Looking at both of those insignias are their calendars, and this obsession with time, and what this brother war, that's kind of scary, man, because I think that's what we're going on right now. It's this great war amongst our brothers. You know what I mean? And it's kind of like history repeating itself. If this obsession with time and what
Yeah.
we've come to realize on what's going on right now, um, with the realm revealing itself, you know, and here's this great war between brothers, and it's just crazy, man. I'm trying to not sound like a deacon back here when y'all reading, but it's like, wow, look at all the similarities and all the things where they're saying history actually repeats itself, and I wonder if they know the history in order to make it repeat, you know. And here we are fighting against each other. It's
bro,
ridiculous.
bro. That's right on time. 'Cause like I say, the Mahabharata war, and
Come
that
on,
word
man.
Bharata means brother, as well as father and uncle or any other, masculine role. You feel me? So it was the brother war, like you're saying, and like it's just showing how, like history repeats itself. We're gonna go to the next slide. I don't want to, believe me, all of it gonna be deep. We could be here on one slide for a while
Yeah.
because we talking about Ma Kali, right?
Yes.
You know,
Yeah.
we know that's Hindu, but we're gonna find out today how Ma Kali is Ma Guadalupe, and also even the Mayan Coatlicue, you know.
Mm.
So we're gonna tap into them to see why. What's the coincidence that I'm, saying this because of you feel me? What gave me the audacity?
I was interested in that pick in the middle, but we can move forward.
Yeah, my Guadalupe. Yeah, like they show her
Whoever
like
that is
this.
in the middle,
Yeah,
why did they
my
do that pick
Guadalupe.
like that?
Yeah, my Guadalupe.
What is
They
she representing?
see normally you'll see her as a white, see, I was being funny using this image, but this is still like one of the most sacred images there is in that culture. See, this is showing that she's all three. She's my Guadalupe, the lady that looks like a saint that you see in this kind of an image, but she's you know, she's
I
more
would
pale.
hope to not see a saint in that image.
No, what I'm saying is no, I'm just showing you all three. This is Coatlicue. You see the belt that she's wearing right here? Her on her waist, this skirt of
Right. I understand.
or really serpents is a skirt of serpents, which is Coatlicue. But it's also showing the heads and arms because I'm finna show you why. That's going down. That's all I can say. But I was showing you all three in that one particular image. And go ahead, sis. I'm gonna let you read about my colleague, and you're gonna start to see the similarities. Matter of fact, hey brother McKinley, can you read that one?
Yes, sir. I sure can. I can't see what's behind the live 28. The live symbol that we're live. So I'll start.
Hold on. Matter of fact, right there.
I'm sorry,
It's,
Calico. I thought I was actually reading.
yeah, we couldn't hear nothing you said.
Oh, I did a mic.
Go ahead.
mishap.
Go ahead. But
Okay.
I'll let the brother jump on the next one. Go ahead, sis.
Okay, so my Callie wears a garland of 50 skulls representing the 50 letters of the alphabet, which are the written form of sound from which Hindus believe are all creation evolved, all of it. So some point out that the skulls around my Callie's neck seem to be smiling. The skulls also symbolize our egos. When Ma cuts our ego, all tension is gone. Ma Callie wears a skirt of severed arms that represent our actions. While we are entitled to work, the result of our work belongs to her. Hmm.
First thing I saw was Kali.
Mhm.
Kali being California.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And these seven limbs are the seven continents.
Continent. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And they seem to be smiling.
Exactly. Yeah, because that's when they say Ma cuts our ego, and they say all tension is gone.
Right.
Amen to that.
Yeah, but you see that garland, this is how the Hindu honor their gods. They'll put garlands of flowers No, seriously, like just like the Hawaiians. That's why I say ye of gods. The Hawaiians who have the same culture, when you come to their land, they put a garland of flowers around your neck. You know, if you come to Africa and places, people who have garlands will honor you and show you the love. They're not gonna, come trying to cut your head off. They're gonna come showing you that love, and it's up to you to burn those bridges. But what I'm saying is, this garland is of heads, severed heads, and that gotta stand out. It's like, it's like going to parade or to a game and catching the beads that they throw, and you got some beads like this. Your beads are like no one else's, right?
Damn.
Well, it turns out that it's like someone else's. You feel me? So, Brother McKinley, if you could read about Kotlik Q.
Sure can. Hold on, let me zoom in a little bit. Kotlik Q, the mother of Aztec gods and celestial bodies, she is a powerful representation of Mother Earth, who gives life. And when, hold on, I can't see behind that lie sign. When is that comet? And when she comes, take it back into
That's
herself.
my bad. Yeah. Kotlik Q, the mother Aztec god celestial body, she is a powerful representation of Mother Earth who gives life, and when the time comes, takes it back into herself. Yeah.
Right.
She is decorated with skulls, wears a garland of human hearts, and a skirt of squirming serpents. In the native Nahua language, Kotlik Q means the one with the skirt of serpents. Kotlik Q's appearance could be described as terrifying, but to me it was similar because so many years I have worshipped the Hindu goddess Kali. My divine mother, Kali, is powerful, is the power of time that devours everything. She creates and she destroys.
Boom.
Yeah. This idea of serpents. I'm leaning on this idea of wave forms, right? Sound waves. And here we go back to sound waves. And the similarity serpents move with these sound waves, right? And so this idea of squirming serpents, like she had a lot of energy. She had a lot of energy, or I think that what they're calling serpents might have been a form of technology or use of technology, because this idea of serpents coming up, and it always seems that they're on top of these serpents in a sense, and I think that they're using serpents to describe wavelength or how a wave moves, like a sound wave even.
Yeah, I like that. 100%.
Yeah, and so are we just not are we just not on the same level as our ancestors as far as what they dwelled on and what we dwell on?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they are super I don't want to say metaphysical people, but they are so into the mind and element and all of the sciences, and we don't really be thinking about none of that. There's a stark difference between our ancestors and us. Stark.
I mean, it's the mind. We have a colonized mind. So even seeing an image of Orisha, seeing an image of a Mayan deity or Ma Kali, seeing these type of deities, it strikes fear, before anything into the colonized mind. You feel me? Because we know that whenever a new culture comes, the god of the old culture becomes the devil of the new culture. So if Nagas were highly represented, then now they must become the devil. You feel me?
Yes.
The picture that you got up now looks like the Egyptian idea of what's that woman that they called the pregnant woman, and she was about to give birth. It was like one of the first artifacts that they ever found. But the back of the brainstem that's what that looks like, and here in the back of the brainstem, all these different things. Man, it's crazy. But that shot right there reminds me of the Egyptian, that lamb image, right? Where this is the back of your brain. And these little areas on the brain too. Is that what that is, man? I gotta zoom in to see. But
and now that you put it like that, like for real though, like I can see what you're saying. And really, it seems like the reptilian part of her brain is on high at that level, because this is basically, it's basically one of her personifications. It's like saying, if you try her while she's out shopping, she might be in your bushes, with that monkey suit on, and I mean that literally. Hers might be a serpent, but she gonna be in your bushes while you playing. You feel me? And she ain't gonna come dressed like she normally would. Matter of fact, she got her friends with her. A skirt full of serpents. Probably got some reptiles on her shoulder. Like, do you want to try me again? But now when we see it, most people get scared. Yeah, like I was talking about the Vedas, and I see the sister talking about Darth Vader. But go ahead, sister.
Yeah, as the neighborhood etymologist, what do you make of that word, Kotal, or COAT with the L always?
Yeah, it's there. So and you're gonna notice that when you get into all this Mayan culture, like pretty much 50% of the gods, you can say, have a Kotal in their name, Of course, coming from Quetzalcoatl, we know that it comes from Quetzalcoatl.
But what is that energy stressing though? Like a coat?
Obviously, the coat has to be the shedding of the skin, like a serpent can shed his skin, so it's probably called a coat, and represents a serpent, because all of these are, serpent gods. So if Kotliku means a serpent skirt, and Quetzalcoatl means the feathered serpent, we can see that serpent is the word every time we say in Quetzal, So you're gonna see so many gods got Quetzal in their names. It's like, wow.
And is that only for the Americas, but is Quetzal any other place in the world?
Just in different languages. It's like saying a Naga. It's like saying is Naga in America? No, but Quetzal is, and we gotta know that it's all the same. You feel me?
Yeah.
I'm sure Sister I Am Wisdom Faye would agree, because now she's definitely our neighborhood Aboriginal. She's an Aboriginal goddess.
Okay.
And she been into this knowledge for a long time. So I know she people like her can appreciate this.
It's good to know.
But yeah, let me definitely go, because this is just like a chart showing you, showing you what you're looking at when we see all these features of Kotliku. So on to the next one. Yeah, I guess I'll jump in right quick Okay. I'm speaking on how an ancient story in India tells of a time when even the gods were exhausted from warring with demons in times of trouble. It is time for the ancient mother to stand up and fight for us. When the male gods heard that the great Asura, they're saying demon king, we speak in English, but in that culture they call them Asuras, and that don't mean demon like meaning something bad. But when the male gods heard the great Asura, Mahiyasura, had declared himself Lord of heaven and ruler of the universe, they got angry. Each god shot forth a terrible light coming from his forehead. Their rays joined at one point, and slowly the blazing concentration of light, that's what we are, condensed light, condensed sunlight, or condensed light, period. We are light beings, right? Their rays joined at one point, and slowly the blazing concentration of light took shape into the form of a mother goddess. The gods prayed to her and worshiped her with praise, ornaments, and weapons. Victory to the mother, they shouted as the goddess killed the demons and restored peace and tranquility. So I'm just showing you the importance of that great mother in both of these and all of these cultures. Like this is who brought that peace and restored that peace and tranquility. I can even show you in the Bible where it says it's actually a Bible verse where the Egyptians were praying to the same God as the Hebrews, or they, actually the Hebrews trying to, conform them. And it was like, we've been trying it y'all way, but ever since we stopped praying to the great mother, we have, like basically when we prayed to the great mother, we never starved, went hungry. We was, it was never any famine in our neighborhoods or anything. Now, ever since we stopped honoring the great mother, we've been without, like we've been struggling. This is literally what it says in the Bible. But people choose to struggle instead of honor the great mother. Sure.
Okay. And speaking of that, wouldn't this be the same as a I don't want to say parable, because then you want to just relate those to Jesus Christ saying. I would want to say allegories to the Bible. When they say things like this, like in parable or allegory form, where you're thinking that it's human form, but it's really like things that's going on in the mind, or things that's like warring going on for duality of the mind, so to speak. Aren't they really only portraying man having conflict with man?
Yeah, like the sister said earlier. Watch this. I'm gonna use this right here to explain it. You see what that sister said?
Yeah, same thing she's saying. Jacob had a spinal cord, all symbolic of something else human.
I mean, it's all Jacob's ladder, so it's showing you that watch this, exactly what it says here. It says, boom, when the God, each God shot for the terrible light. Okay, they say the blazing concentration of light. So that's that Kundalini serpentine fire. You feel me? That is that same light, right? And they say that light took shape in the form of what?
A mother goddess.
Because Kundalini energy is what? It's feminine.
It is.
It's divine.
Feminine.
It's divinely feminine. Not to say is like what they say.
Look,
revenge or whatever. Revenge is mine, saith the Lord. Yeah, not to say that just because I use the word divine and feminine don't mean that revenge ain't hers. It's not to say that she's not gonna, get everything straight for all of us.
Right. So break down that the sentence after that, saying the gods prayed to her and worshipped her with praise,
Mm-hmm.
ornaments, and weapons.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
they
Yeah.
already.
Look, it sounds like your pineal or your kundalini energy deserves a crown on top of her. And it
Right.
sounds like you better protect her at all costs because you know you kill the head, the body dead.
Boom.
You know. So that's a philosophy I get out of it.
You know,
Victory to the mother, right? Because she got weapons. They worship her with praise, ornaments, and weapons. What are the weapons for? So she can continue to be matriarch or in charge or running things or guiding or look at it. Why would you need weapons?
back to the idea of polarity. You know, polarity
Yes.
and this idea that genderly speaking,
Mm-hmm.
right? And so here are all these demons, and these demons are causing trouble, right? And when the males heard of this great demon king, they had declared himself Lord of the heavens, right? So here's all this masculine energy, right? Here's all this masculine energy, and this masculine energy is causing hell on earth, basically, right? And each god shot up this terrible light coming from their forehead, right? And those rays joined, and when they joined, they found compassion for one another. They found reason to love one another, right? And they found this idea of polarity. So if this idea of polarity, if aggression is masculine, then compassion is feminine, right? And so they found this compassion, and they started praising the compassion, right? And making weapons to guard that compassion. And victory to our mothers for teaching us compassion, you know? And that compassion killed off all this aggression and negative energy and restored peace and tranquility in the world. That's how I
Yep.
saw it.
Hey, Sister Ya, it's, it's the time
Yes,
is
sir.
yours.
Gotcha.
The time is yours. Matter of fact, I'm gonna have to probably read the first couple words for you.
No, I got it.
Okay.
Quetzalcoatl, one of the chief deities in the Aztec culture, was known by several names in Mesoamerican civilizations, such as Kukulkan in the Mayan culture. Quetzalcoatl is equated to the Indian sage Azteca, who built a civilization at Tula for estranged Nagas, or snake worshippers, who had escaped persecution in their homelands at the hands of King Jamaya. Okay, so the leader or king of the Nagas was called Tashaka, who led the surviving Nagas to Patala, or South America. So, as a coincidence, Mexico has a place with the name Texcoco. What, Texcoco? Look at, okay, and that's the first time I've seen that picture of
Mhm.
Quetzalcoatl, Calico.
Yeah, and tell me why did they smite his nose?
His nose, are
Yeah,
you
I
sure?
mean,
Are you
I'm
saying
just
that's
saying.
a he?
It seems like they do that on every continent, don't they?
hmm Well, when they came there, all the noses was right.
Yeah, yeah,
The Mayans look like Scottie Pippen to me. You
exactly,
did, yeah,
exactly,
look
exactly.
just like Scottie Pippen right there.
Yep, yep.
Yeah.
And you see the word Texcoco, what they saying Mexico,
Huh.
is coming from, as a coincidence. It's just another one of those coincidences. You hear me?
Yeah.
For sure. Let me take it that over. You know,
Yeah.
did it did it even work? Let me see what's going on here. What's going on? All right, come right here we go. They playing right. Hey, matter of fact, brother McKinley, if you could read this, I'm pretty sure you're gonna be surprised.
Gotcha. Aztec of Mexico is derived from Aztec, eight-armed, the eight-armed god found in Mexico and Mexican temples. Now, where in the world are multiple armed idols found except in India?
What?
Aztec, Asterix, Asterix.
Aztec.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Aztec.
Wow. So eight
Aztec is
eight
what it
arm
Aztec.
is exclusive to India.
Yeah, but this one on the left is Mayan. You know, this is an artifact that was found in Mayan. Let me move that image.
And it's not even 8 arms, it's really 10.
No, well, yeah, you're right. But still, even anything of that sort, it's like saying 8 heads. You know how they have 8 faces or whatever. They can have more faces than that. They can have more faces than that. You still gonna be like, man, that's just like the Hindu avatars.
Right. Yeah. I'm looking.
Yeah.
I'm looking around.
Yeah.
Man, oh man. Looking at the one on the right, they're talking about these end times. So you got the sun and the moon, top, left, and right, and he's got this sword, and these 8 arms are probably these 8 realms or 8 mechanics of this realm, and each one of these arms is like a timepiece, and it's slowly moving across these timepieces that they got up there behind them with the astrological signs and whatnot. Man, everything looks
behind the picture, minus the black people or statues behind, looks like Chinese, like China.
Yeah, that's Hindu on the right. Yeah, that's Hindu. I'm showing you America and Hindu all throughout, back and forth, showing you the same.
Damn.
Time and time again. Yeah, I think I'm doing a good job.
Yes, you are. Even though their hats are the same.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. And this is about viriculture, right? And virulcana. I say tomato, because I'm gonna show you why, because we're gonna learn about viriculture and Virashana. Hold on. Matter of fact, Sister Ya, help me out.
Incas consider Viracocha the creator of the heaven and earth, the sun, the moon, and the stars. He was also the creator of humans. He created the form of humans who were brainless giants. Displeased with his work, he destroyed them with floods and then created the modern day humans with smaller stones. Okay, so Viracachas were the god who taught Incas art, culture, science, reincarnation, and the basics of human civilization.
Yeah. Ain't nobody can say they've studied the Mayan culture and haven't seen this image. So this image is Viracocha, right?
Yes.
And in this culture, he's the creator of heaven and earth, the sun, moon, and the stars.
And the humans.
Yeah, and the creator of humans. And like he said, the first form of humans who were brainless giants, So, boom.
Brainless
on
giants.
To Virulcana or Virashana, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which is an oddly similar word. If Brother McKinley gonna help me out.
According to Hindu mythology, a demon king, Ashura, note the word demon, Ashura, is not to be confused with evil. They were just another race, known as Virashana. A few of his people set out to spread the divine knowledge to distant lands. To give a brief background, Virashana was the son of Prahlada, or an ardent disciple of God, Vishnu, and son of the evil demon Hira. I'm not even going to try that. Hiranyakshu.
Good enough,
And
brother.
and the father of Mahabali, another ardent discipline of Vishnu. Both demon kings are famous in Indian mythology in Vishnu's fourth and fifth incarnation, respectively, as Vishnu's favorite disciples.
Mm.
Hey, and not picking on my nana or nothing, but when you say Mexican or Maya, you know the word Mexico or Mexican is like saying mestizo. It's just saying a mix, a Mexican, a mix, a con. You know, it's a
Mm.
a mixed person. You feel me? And what are you mixed with? Like I said, a con.
That's right.
You feel me? So they're not the true Maya. They're not the true Olmec, or not many of them, especially now if they call themselves Mexican. And for honestly, they call it Mexicali. I had a Mexican actually tell me that y'all say Mexico, but it's really Mexicali. So this y'all say like Cali, like the guy she said like like California, like the goddess Kali. I'm like, dang, okay, Mexicali.
Wow.
Yeah. So boom.
That's interesting to know.
Yep. So let me go.
Okay, so Mexicans are not even trying to consider themselves white.
No.
Well,
No, actually they took on the title brown people.
Okay.
So that even though we probably should have took that title.
I'm coming from the old school. I'm coming all the way back to the 60s and shit. So,
and I just had this question for everybody out there. Anybody can let me know. But the two images on the other side, up and down, are Vishnu statues, and I'm just asking, does Vishnu look Aztec? Anybody can let me know in the chat, because I'm saying, does Vishnu look like he could be an Aztec, or are the Aztecs Dravidians? Is that a better question? Yeah, but I let that hover. Right.
Man, you can't tell me that ain't that look like what's your name? That look like two cats, them cats on the left.
Yeah.
They look like two cats I know, man. Especially dude with the dreadlocks right there.
Yeah,
He got the bow. You know what I mean?
Man, that Vishnu on the top look like my big brother, man. That's why I love that image. I ain't lying. I'd be like, whoa.
Hey, yo, he look like somebody I balled with. Like we
for real.
together.
Yeah, he got game. He got game. He got game. You can see it in it. That's why they cut the arms off the statue. They were like, man, stop, goddamn, hooping like that, man. You ball hogging.
Yeah, he was dunking on everybody.
Yeah. They hated him. But yeah, Peru. Right? Peru, the land of the rising sun. Coming out of the Ramayana in chapter 40 of the Kishkinda Khan of the epic Ramayana, the author sage Valmiki states that the Udaya Adri, or Udaya, which means sunrise, and Adri, which means mountain, right, can be located after crossing many oceans when traveling east of India. In chapter 40 of the Venadas, traveling east of India are directed, traveling east of India, you're going to reach the Udaya mountain, right? And this image right here is showing you India, is showing you traversing that, extensive distance to where they call Udaya Adri, and also Patala, because I'm gonna show you, right? Boom. Run that switch. Okay, there we go. Yeah. You know, if y'all
Wow.
can see that trident up there, that's one of the Nazca lines up there
Mm.
on that mountain, which looks like
Mhm.
a hill, but it's a mountain. You feel me? It's a Nazca line, which we know sometimes miles long. But if you were able to go up high enough, you would see that it's actually an image
Mm.
drawn on Earth in a UFO type of way, and not just on crops like crop circles. No, 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 no. We talking about rock circles. You
Huh.
know, for real.
Mm.
But I know my sister. Yeah, I want to get with some of this. So whenever you're ready, sis.
Yeah, let me full screen so I can see the first words. So, according to the Ramayana, day breaks on Earth in the Udaya Adri. In today's world, we are conditioned to think that the sun rises first in Japan, but in fact, it is that at every geographical point of land in the world, darkness will fade away and day will break at a certain point of time every day. So, why did the Ramayana choose the Andes as their point of sunrise? Or, in other words, why was daybreak in Peru over the Andean mountains chosen as the first day of sun for the entire earth? Why not India, Japan, or any other place? So, chapter 40, verse 57 of the Kishkinda Khan gives the reason. It says that when Lord Vishnu first invaded the earth, he strode across the earth in three giant steps. He placed the first step in Mount um, Salmanassa, which lies in the Judea Adri, chapter 40 through 58F, Kishkindakanda. Okay, so that point became the point of sunrise. Where he put his last step was called Mount Asta, which means Sunset Mountain. More about Mount Asta here. India lies at the center of Mount Judea and Mount Asta. Peru is therefore the land of the rising sun, according to the Ramayana.
Hey, so this is a perfect question, and I got a perfect person, my brother McKinley. Actually, both of y'all, but I just want to get McKinley involved because brother McKinley. So the ancient Hindus spoke of a place. What's the name? Udaya Ardi or
Mm-hmm.
Adri, right? And they say this is Sunrise Mountain, and this is the land of the rising sun. So history has been lying to us for so long, telling us, that China and such is the land of the rising sun.
Mm-hmm.
How do you feel about the ancient Hindu saying that Peru, South America, is the land of the rising sun, brother?
You know, man, I've seen so many things as of late, like within the last 24 hours. And it's beautiful, actually, because I was asking this same question, I swear to you, about 24 hours ago. And this idea of two suns, here we go back to the two suns, right? And how the actual earth is laid out, right? And so, they're seeing from their perspective eh, one sun, and us over here in the Americas, we're seeing another sun. And so they both could be right, in terms of what I've seen lately and how the mechanics of this realm work. There possibly could be two suns up there and both cultures seeing the same thing,
Mm-hmm.
making the same observations of two different suns, like they were saying at the beginning, that she birthed these two sons, and here they are showing up, one rising in Peru, one rising in Japan, and
Mm-hmm.
they're making these revolutions above us. And so it just takes me back to the mechanics of how this place works, and slowly we're starting to piece it together.
Yes, slowly but surely.
For sure. And the map that we're used to, like that square rectangular map, that's supposed to be wrong, and that's not really what we see. But how Mercator, they say we have to demercator the
Mhm.
map, and it will actually show us these two different systems that we're acknowledging at one because of how they operate. But at the same time, there might be two suns, one rising in Peru, one rising in Japan, and because of the things that we must unlearn, it's all
Mm.
new to us.
That's just too deep, brother, because we're always gonna have to be breaking down and decoding everything now. Everything. Why should we have to decode the sun? But we do. You're right. We have to look at, like, does the sun have a binary pair? And not even talking about the moon. Same thing with the moon.
Right.
Do they have? Is there binary pairs out there of everything? Is there a regular sun and then a black sun over here,
Talk
and then
about
these
it.
people are recording and these people are recording the same thing but different?
From a different perspective. Oh,
Yeah,
like real talk. Like they're talking about Quetzalcoatl and the dude from India. Like real talk. I'm gonna be like, nah, D Calico was the man. You understand what I'm saying? And
yeah.
I'm gonna put her with some Miami gear on. You dig what I'm talking about? And same thing they gonna do out there. Same thing they gonna do out there with their homeboy. Who showed them or who revealed this information to them. And so this idea of everything really being like the same thing,
Yeah.
it's man, it's a little overwhelming. I got a
And
big old smile on my face.
he's got a
What's up?
mothership connection
Huh?
landed.
Hey, matter of fact, I don't know if you seen how I made one crash into the other. I'm just being funny.
Let me see. Let me
Yeah,
see.
yeah.
I missed it.
Oh,
Ah,
yeah,
I'm just being
absolutely.
funny though. But seriously, this is a pre-Columbian artifact, and
Calico,
this is yes,
aren't you really showing that um, ancient worlds, not just ancient, but other
yeah,
worlds or preceding worlds, was all doing the same thing
same.
with the same thoughts and ideals, different times, different spaces, through that. However, you know, aren't we going to leave something fascinating as such that make, the next mind wonder, like, damn, what was they on?
Hmm.
Well, what it's all looking like, man. Like they got cell phones in India right now. You dig what I mean? They got pianos in India right now. You dig what I'm talking about? And so what it's looking like is this age before the deluge. And here are all these different ages before the deluge, and these and these similarities, right? So I think there was a time period when everybody said, "Oh, yo, hold." They all started seeing the same thing, and
Hmm.
this realm started revealing itself.
Yeah.
You know, and so like the technology, like, is not too far fetched to think that a guy in Nigeria has a cell phone.
Yes. And aren't these different ages really just recycling?
Right. To me, it's all this time before the deluge. And so here we come back, and we're rediscovering it,
Yeah.
and we left other people to interpret it. Like there
Right.
was a couple of slides back, my man, and that guy was standing on snakes too. You dig what I'm saying? And so
Yeah.
like This idea of snakes, I think, might be like this magnetic wave. You know what I mean? And that we're standing on this magnetic wave system. And like you said, they're gonna put their homeboy up there. Make him look like Tyrone. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yep.
And type tribes,
yeah.
type
Tribe.
and organized noise is hitting on some points.
Better
Pole
believe it.
reversal. Did the sun set in the east and rise in the west at one time? Tribe Tide said is 4 suns.
Yeah, that's what I'm learning now. And that these suns operate in a manner that it's more to the known earth than those maps that they show us,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And like brother said in the comments, he said, yeah, there's 4 suns, and we're barely coming hip to it, and so it's so foreign to what we've been taught. And I think it's foreign for a reason, and that's because if we knew what was going to happen, how the realm resets itself, like that idea of Nimrod. Nimrod sent his homies out there. It's like, yo, man, is it real? And then go check and see if you see anything about the deluge, right? And so they came back and they was like, yo, man, like real talk, the Aztecs got a calendar, the Mayans got a calendar, everybody's keeping track of this deluge, right?
Yes.
And so now it seems like all this is being revealed to us, that heck no, that these times are coming, these systems, how they work, they shift and return, and it's time.
Hey, I ain't gonna lie, that's the key word. That word deluge, right? And I'm glad you said it again, because I had almost forgot my point. Because I love what you were saying. But what I'm saying is a deluge can be many things. Like a deluge is not only involves water, like saying a flood, but it could be a deluge of light. It could be 24/7. It could be a deluge of night. It could be night 24/7. It could be a deluge of knowledge. Knowledge is, is about the flood. It's about the, flood at a level. It's about the flood. It's the deluge is here. The age of Aquarius is going to flow in, like they say. So it's going to overflow eventually.
Yeah.
It's definitely going to be too much for us all.
It already is.
Yeah, it already is.
Well, right now we caught up. Right now we caught up, but everything is still too much. I know what you mean.
It's kind of like I've spent too long talking about the moons of Jupiter, for instance, traveling to Mars. Like I've the con. I've spent too long invested in the con that, like you said, now that these simple stuff, it's really real simple and logical. Like you said, there could be, what'd you say, a dual sun? I like the word you use, Sister Yassini. A binary sun system, right? That's what she said. Yeah, and it could just be very simple, just like that. But these guys wanted to confuse us to the point that we mistake everything for what they told us it was, instead of the truth.
Exactly. And I wanted to tackle this one, right? Because it speaks on a jet from South America, right? In 1954, the governor of Colombia sent part of his collection of ancient gold artifacts on a U.S. tour. And Emmanuel Stubbs, one of America's leading jewelers, was commissioned to cast reproductions of 6 of the objects. 15 years later, one was given to zoologist Ivan T. Sanderson for analysis. After a thorough examination and consulting a number of experts, Sanderson's mind-boggling conclusion was that the object is a model of a high-speed aircraft, at least 1,000 years old. And we know about the sextant and the rudder, right? Well, the rudder had a lot to do with ships and maneuvering, among the waters. Well, the rudder also maneuvers and helps guide planes, So the rudder is perhaps the most unanimal, because people try to say, the Mayans were depicting animals and it looks like airplanes. Well, they were they say the most unanimal-like part was the rudder, right? They say it's a right triangle, flat surfaced and rigidly perpendicular to the wings. Only fish have upright tail fins, but none have exclusively an upright flange without a counterbalancing lower one. Adding to the mystery, an insignia appears on the left face of the rudder, precisely where ID marks appear on many airplanes today. You know how, a company would have their name there, or their insignia, right? In this insignia, on the side of this ancient airplane, is perhaps as out of place as the gold model itself, for it has been identified as the Aramaic or early Hebrew letter Beth or B. That's what that is right there. So I don't think that's an accident. You feel me? And that's ancient flight in America. So obviously there's got to be a coincidence to that in India, because that's what we're here for. I'm here to show you the East and the West Indians are the same people. Let me put that back on the screen just in case y'all don't forget, man. Smash that like button. I appreciate y'all.
I've been sharing while we on here.
I appreciate
that. These slides is a lot of work. Now, I don't know how much people really know, man, but you put a lot of work in these slides, and I want to thank you. I want to thank you, man. Look, it's an hour. It's an hour and 15 minutes already worth of work. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
yes, sir.
And that's a lot of work, man. I appreciate you, man.
I thank you, brother. And you showed me you appreciate me by sharing the video. So if anybody else out there appreciate me, in any way, then please share the video, man. Whether it be Facebook or just a friend, send it to their phone. You already know we back at it.
Yeah.
And we speaking on these Vimanas. Right? Because that's the name of the ancient aircraft of India and Atlantis. Now, if that ain't American an Indian connection, what is?
And so, Calico, I'm sort of taken aback by what I'm reading on the screen about the Rama and Atlantis War was a conflict between two ancient empires that already developed both heavier than air flight via mercury-driven ion engines and anti-gravity technology to fly 7-story. Now, what I'm looking at is that we like to think that we're so advanced because of our technology, but are we really?
That's the truth, right? We're not, because we're using words like gravity, and we know gravity is a manipulation technique. Gravity is a manipulation technique used to convince people that they're stuck on the outside of a spinning water ball hurling through space, when we should be talking about magnetism and diamagnetism, right? Where these are diamagnetic vehicles more than they are anti-gravity. There's no such thing as gravity. Gravity is some word they made up to manipulate us, right? And these here are diamagnetic vehicles, right? Yeah. And the technology seems easy if we start thinking of it in that way, but here they go. They'll slip that gravity in on us, right? Instead of diamagnetic, and diamagnetic is something that I know it doesn't seem as impossible as anti-gravity. You know what I mean?
Yes, absolutely.
Hey, and di meaning like two or whatever.
Yes.
But when they say dia, I look at it like dia, right? You know, dia is like they'll say it means day, but that's vulgar Latin. You know, and in ancient, you know, the first Latin language they would have told you dia means goddess. And like I always say, the word magnet comes from the word mag, M-A-G, meaning magic, because they can't explain how a magnet works. So what I'm saying is dia magnetic, or you know, goddess magic.
Right.
Yeah, man. For real, for real. Yep. So yeah, like Joan Rita said, the deluge is us. We coming. We coming. She right.
And it's by order. It's by order. You know, it's natural law.
Yep.
Yeah. We're not nothing special. We're not doing nothing special. We're here by law.
Yeah.
Fine. So powered by Mer, Ka, and Ba. I like what you just said. The Ramana was powered by Mer, Ka, and Ba.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah,
And
there's a more.
we're trying to make it all difficult. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
But Mer, what does Mer mean? I know you know, D.
Yeah, more. Yeah.
It means the earth too, right?
It can also mean a pyramid. A pyramid was in ancient Egypt was called a myrrh. But yeah, it definitely means more. Or black, you know how they'll tell you. It means dark and all of that kind of stuff.
And what does Ka mean?
Soul and Ba, spirit, yeah.
Right, and La is life.
Okay, so they're saying that here's this magnetic vehicle guided by the spirit.
Yeah. It's the same. It's the same way those male gods.
Technology.
It's the same way those male gods concentrated that light, that energy from their minds. You know, once they
magnetism.
Yeah.
Like that magnetism. So it's like a magnetism. Yes, I remember that show you and Taz did, man, and it was about magnetism, how we were magnetic beings, and here it is that they're saying, yeah, you know, it's powered by, you know, this, that, and the other.
Yeah, we're electromagnetic, and you know, electricity is slowed down magnetism. You know, so we're electromagnetic. So that's you know, that's like saying we're the alpha and the omega. We are the micro and the macro.
And what if the electricity is not slowed down? What kind of magnetism are we?
Oh, yeah, that's pure magnetism. There's nothing else.
Oh my God.
Yeah, you know, pure magic.
So magnet, so Merkaba, you know, that like this magnet spirit vehicle, you know, where what we consider. So if I'm some lame and I never seen two magnets before, I'd be like, oh, the spirit did that. You know what I mean? And so it's kind of like, it kind of sounds like it's like not oxymoronic, but redundant, like a spirit vehicle, you know, a spirit magnetic vehicle, or you know, or something within us, spirit vehicle. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, McKinley, let me pick your brain right quick.
Talk to me.
The pics that we're seeing are all astronomical events, or you know, mysterious, or shouldn't be happening, like a flying city, really?
No. This is what legends are made of. You know, this is why we speak on Nibiru. You know, Nibiru.
I'm saying all of these pictures are showing something astronomical or unbelievable.
Yeah, and I want you to. I wanted to bring up too, because when you look at architecture, we have to start seeing through things. We have to start seeing through it. If we really can't,
McKinley, if we can have a flying city, if we can have that the other pick happening, and Shakuna happening, the Sundara, and all of those things whether they're allegory or not, if that could happen in some ancient event, and then it can also happen now in today's stories, right?
For sure. I
Okay,
agree.
so how surprised will we be to see a flying city?
Right.
Yeah.
Not too surprised. Not too surprised. You know, like I always considered Gabriel and Uriel some just normal dudes. And they ran up on Enoch and they said, "Yo, check out Enoch. Yo, Enoch, you
Huh?
wanna ride?" And Enoch was like, "Yeah, all right." And they showed him everything. Now the picture in the middle, the picture in the middle got me thinking of a chandelier, right? And these
Yeah,
representations of these devices, right? But that one in the
Hey,
middle
yeah,
sure
I
yeah.
wish I
surely
could. I wish I could have dropped the bomb on that. That's for real. Hey,
Go
watch
for it.
this. Watch this. What I'm saying is, we got to start noticing things. Like,
huh.
we got to go. We got to look at the architecture. If
Mhm.
we truly paying attention to architecture, we'll notice that the top of many buildings, like we always talk about that cornerstone and this type of thing. Well, these are, if you notice, a lot of times Vimanas. Like if you look at what we call Moorish architecture, how they'll
Right.
have a bulb sitting on top of these temples. You feel me? Like even some of your downtown buildings, if you truly look at the special top of that building,
Mm.
who's to say it doesn't move, or who's to say the aliens can't park it for 1,000 years and move it when they feel? You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. You
yeah,
know,
yeah. And
and
it's
and
so
look,
high. It's so high. You're not gonna pay attention in the middle of the night if it go warp speed and break the speed of light and come back. You would never even know it moved.
you,
I'm
you know,
just saying.
looking at that one in the middle. Looking at that one in the middle looks like a chandelier, man, and it's killing me. It's killing me because what if a chandelier was a wireless device? You know, what if a chandelier was a wireless device, and so they put lights in them now, but how they operated back in the day, it was wireless. You know, you had this chandelier in your house,
Yes.
right? Right, and the chandelier was a device, maybe even, you know, a wireless device. But look, man, it bugs me out. Even the tears looking into it, like I never really even. I'm not gonna look at chandeliers the same anymore. You know,
Right.
Yeah, yeah. I ain't gonna lie. You made me notice that too, though. Now you definitely right. That's
And
the
not
whole
only
idea.
that,
That's the whole idea behind a chandelier, or even a ceiling fan is imitating flight.
it is.
come on now.
Yeah,
Who would it be a condolier? Like what
yeah.
like if we were to like take the American out of the word, you understand what I mean, and put like the
Hmm.
ka
Yeah,
da la, you know what
yeah,
I mean?
yeah. Like Merkaba. Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, yeah. Exactly.
Shanda, and
Hmm.
it's just amazing, man. Like I'm glad I'm learning so much. I don't know how excited I sound, but I'm very excited. I'm learning all this stuff, man.
Let me
And
go to.
let's expand on this Mer and Merkaba or Merkaba.
Hmm.
Mer, if we take the A off of American, meaning if we just let the A mean not, we next have the Mer, M-E-R. A Mer, Ricans, Rican, Ican, whatever. We have to look at, everything that has truth is going to have some lie. Everything that's a lie is going to have some truth. So when we look at a name, and this is why we like to go back to the etymology so we can figure out something in that name is true. What are we looking at as an American or Americans or America?
Come on, teach.
If we take that A off, let's deal with the A as a not, and let's deal
Right.
with the
I understand what you're saying.
Ricans. Even if we deal with the Ricans, um, neighborhood etymology isn't a Rican a king? or queen?
Obviously you
Right?
hitting on something. Obviously you hitting on something because Rican or Rica or Rico means rich. It means rich.
Rich, rich
Yeah.
meaning like wealth and king like
Yeah.
rich.
Yeah. Exactly.
So, a rich more. You dig? Rich
Right.
more.
So
Mhm.
so so Calico, we talked about this before already. When we say be looking at the same icon in African, when we be looking at the same Ricans or Ricans in Puerto Rican, American. So that's what we need to be dealing with. That who that Mur is, and I'm sure people there can get in on some of that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, because we know who the caught in the bar.
And let's talk about the Mur.
Yeah. Man, I don't know how much y'all know. These are so much fun, man. I enjoy them so much.
Yeah, absolutely. He breaking it down like no other.
Yep.
The land of milk and honey. And every time we say something deep like this, organized noise kicks in like that.
Yeah. Put the plus on it. He put the plus on it for us.
He does. He already know. He already know. And so, Calico, what you're doing is showing that the more things change, the more they stay the same. Yeah, all over the world. You might be mute, bro.
Yeah. Can you read that, sis?
Yeah. Indian calls South America Patala and as I mentioned in part one, the board games both cultures share is called Patoli in Peru or Patoli. Patala. Yeah, they're keeping their root or in their base, and they're just switching it up on us. That's what I see.
You know, I saw some things where they said that English was basically Hebrew backwards, right? And so you know, I'm my bad. Forgive me. I'm stuck on. So Lee out pa or patoli, right? Patala, right? Allah.
Exactly.
Right? So if we spelled that backwards, that looked like top in there. You know, the Egyptian goddess T or one PTH PHAT.
Hey, watch this. Hey, watch this, brother. Read every one of those continent names.
For real.
Go ahead.
Atala. Yeah.
Atala, Mahatala.
Hey, so I'm gonna ask y'all. I'm asking everybody. You know, anybody listening? Who is Allah?
Come on now. Come on, man. I gotta mute my mic. You gonna make me mute my mic.
Watch this. Allah is Gaia. Allah is Mother Earth. Huh? And the Hindu are telling you who Allah is. They call Africa Rasta Allah. Huh?
And it's the play on words.
Atala is Europe. Vitala.
Can I bug y'all out for a second, man? And this is gonna be really off the mark.
Please.
I want y'all to look at Africa. Right? Look at Africa right there. Look at Lake Victoria as an eye socket. And picture Africa as a head turning to the right. You see it? It looks like a skull. And so this is our mother. She gave her life for us. This giant of a being.
No, right? if you really look at that's an elongated skull.
Right.
So it's facing India.
Talk to
him. You know, but the back part where we, towards what we call we think that's the direction to America. But what I'm saying is that's the elongated skull, irregardless.
Right.
And you heard the sister I Am Wisdom. Come on, somebody. Allah. And we all come from what? Mother Earth. You know, you must go back to as what you are. You know, everybody going back to ashes, dust to dust. So you're going back to the earth from whence you came, and you are made of 102 of the minerals that Earth is comprised of. So you are, Allah's. You feel me?
Come on now.
For real.
Man, there's a word that just slipped right out of my mind. I'm learning too much at once. This is fascinating stuff, man, and all the connections are there.
Yes, sir. They can deny it if they want. You know how people is, Some people gonna live in their own little worlds.
Look at this map. North
Okay,
America is to your right.
Right.
Bro, go back to the map right quick.
I thought I did. My bad.
Okay, so North America is to your right, meaning that, if this is Pangea at some point, then all of these connecting lands is just going to have like a center point, whether it's North Pole, Antarctica, whatever. Listen, by North America being on your right here, if it folds around, then we're connected damn near to Russia. Russia is in our back door.
Yeah, that's where the Siberians come from. They come from that right there. They do,
but I'm saying if you connect this landmass.
Yeah, I mean Canada, and
yes.
What we call Beringia, which is like 17 miles, they say at the most, and there's a chain of islands in between.
We're not used to seeing this map like this in this orientation.
That's how they got us. Upper and lower Egypt. If you look at, if you fold that map I see that map folded another way, so that America and Russia are basically parallel to each other, and America is going. It would be going to the top right corner. Right, so America would be switched on its head, going towards the top right corner, the tip of South America, right? And like you said, it's upper and lower Egypt more than it is this straight across land that they've shown us. Well, really, lower Egypt was everything from Russia below. Upper Egypt was the Americas,
Yes, sir. And they purposely showing you that, like, if you do puzzles, and this is circular, this left side is gonna slide in perfectly as a puzzle piece to the Americas.
Righteous.
They do that on purpose, showing you that this was once one landmass. How they be having it divided up, they be showing you, this slides right in there. For real.
Yeah, man. And they act like like nobody knew it'd be there.
People do puzzles know.
It's horrible.
It is. Because you see where they got the Pacific right in the middle. So that's the Atlantic to this side. And I bet you, look, North Atlantic Ocean that way, South Atlantic Ocean that way. Put them together, and that Rasatala fits right into the Mahatala and the Patala.
Medulla oblongata. You dig what I'm talking about?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, you see the word Rasta almost when you're saying Rasatala. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it's showing you where they get all of that culture from.
Yeah, and it looked like at one point it was connected to us.
Okay, so that picture back with what I said earlier, man, that looked like the statue of the Venus, right? And that idea of the ram skull and Egypt depiction of the back of our head, right? And this idea of Allah, right? In this back section of our head, I'm overwhelmed, man. This is beautiful stuff. Everything's like making sense.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks to D Calico.
Yeah.
Yep,
So,
he's gonna bring it.
They even call it the medulla oblongata, when it's probably the mandibula oblongata,
Yes.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
They
Hey,
did it quick.
Brother McKinley, I want to get you involved one more again because I know you're going to enjoy this as you pick up on it.
All right, my man, can you read that first little section for me?
Yeah. His name is Hanuman. It says Hanuman traveled through a lotus stem. A lotus stem shaped tunnel. It was a tunnel, a lotus stem shaped tunnel.
To Patala Loka, South America, to find his son Sa Valaba.
Yeah. Matsaya. Matter of fact, Matsaya is one of the incarnations of Vishnu. Matsaya Valaba. Yeah.
And
rescue
that
Rama.
next line, I can't read that next line, my man.
And rescue Rama. Lakshmani, like Lakshmana by killing Mahi Ravana.
Okay. During the battle between Rama and Ravana, Mavanara, the maternal uncle of Ravana, kidnaps Rama and Lakshmana and takes them to Patala Loka through a tunnel. Man, come on, man. Patala Loka is described to be exactly below Earth, then India, as one has to go 700 yohans deeper in Earth to reach there. To reach
70,000 yohanas.
70,000 yohanas deeper in Earth to reach there. Mexico and Brazil are exactly below India, and one has to dig a tunnel of a distance to travel vertically.
I am Wisdom Fade ain't going for none of this.
Man, that cat look like Loki.
Hey, so what you're saying is the Earth is
and it's amazing that you say that. You just look, Patala Loka, and you just said Loki,
the trickster god.
And Hanuman traveled to Patala Loka. Patala Loka in the ancient Hindu culture is South America. Is what we were speaking on when I touched on that mountain. Let me go back to it one more time.
Hold on, man. Did they say the trickster god traveled with a hue of man to South America?
Yeah.
Oh, the mothership.
Yeah, right here. Udaya Adri, right? This, where they say the sun rises, which is South America. And that is actually in Peru, what they call Patala Loka. So they spoke of this culture a lot. They spoke of it a lot.
Is that a pitchfork that she's holding?
Yeah, that's a trident. That's the same thing that she had. Yes. That was Shiva. And, he looked like one, but that's Shiva, the god. And he has a trident, just like Neptune and all that. But we speaking on, or Poseidon, but we speaking on the Indian and American connection. So I showed that. You feel me? Because this is Viracocha, which is the Aztec god. And he also has that same trident. And that is a Nazca line with the trident, just showing that it's undeniable, the connection of the cultures.
Okay, so Calico, let me point this out. When we show the Olmecs, they don't look, all boxed and just drawn with lines and rocks. They look like human form, like they show like a fleshly type drawing of the face and the nose and the lips and the, you think you're seeing like a real people made a statue of themselves. However, with the other drawings, like what you just took off of there, those are more like, we can't look like this.
So organized noise said the Grand Canyon would lead you to Africa.
Man, that's fire, man. Bro, I got to get a bomb, man. I got to be able to drop a bomb when somebody says something like that. Come
Wait,
on, man.
man, hold on, man. Because on the flat Earth map, them two rivers flow like in the same direction. You dig?
Man, bro, that's fire. That's fire. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they say the Nile flows northernly. No, they're all flowing in the same direction.
If that don't go along with what we're talking about right now, then nothing does. Because we're speaking on how Hanuman traveled through a lotus stem shaped tunnel.
Mm-hmm.
You know, something that the earth designed, you know, naturally. He traveled through that tunnel, those 70,000 Johannas to the other end of the world from India.
Mm.
And that happens to be what we call, South America, or Patala Loca, meaning Peru, so to speak. Or we're really all of South America.
Mm.
You know, so then this brother say the Grand Canyon will lead you to Africa. It's showing like that sounds like a valid reason why they won't let anyone in those areas. You feel me?
Yeah.
Like you would definitely enter a tunnel system that is off limits or is divine.
It also leads to the underworld.
Yeah,
well, yeah,
which is divine. That's divinity. That's where all the divinities are.
They're just trying to scare you to see if you're ready. You digging what I'm saying? It is like, oh, you want to come to the underworld? There's gonna be some dark stuff down there. You ready for that dark stuff? You know what I'm saying? They just scaring you. Like, yeah, I know who I am. I'm ready for that dark stuff.
Okay.
You know that's probably that. You know, there's a lot of things that are coming together, and this idea of tunnels to another solar system, and so say if we put that on that flat Earth, and we flip India so that Africa, like you said, how it was in that other image, right? And we got two suns, one circling this area and another one circling this area, right? And these cats got these tunnel systems that will take you to these different solar systems, right? On this flat vertical plane.
Right. And it has to be flat for it to go like that.
In order to go through that tunnel system.
Yeah.
Yeah. Through these ice walls or whatever they say. They've traveled through this lotus flower. Sound like a burrow, you know? Like the design of the tip of the device made it look like a flower as they were drilling through. You dig what I'm saying?
Yes. Peace, Gemini 9.
Yes. Glad to see you made it, sis. I'm gonna go to the next one.
Mm. Mahabali established his capital in Patalaloka as Bogavati, which is the modern day Bogota, Colombia. Right? Bali, capital. You want me to take it, bro?
Oh yeah, you doing well, baby.
Go ahead. So when Vamana assumed the form of Trivikrama, Mahabali thought perhaps the Lord would stop once he reached one of the three lokas which Bali ruled over. But the Lord went beyond these lokas and covered 7 lokas. His stamp was now on everything. When there was nothing left for the Lord to measure, he asked Mahabali where to put his foot to measure the 3rd portion of land promised to him. Mahabali indicated his head, and the Lord pressed Bali down to Pataloka, where he was to be ruler. Yeah, he pressed his head down. And the
Man.
soil, I presume, yeah, horizontal.
Yeah, and the soil that the foot of the god landed was Patala Loka, and that was the first step he took as he traversed the universe when he landed on Earth. So he's looked at as, that basically adds credence to what they say about America being the oldest. Because even the Indian culture, their god is saying that, it is Patala Loka. That is the first place that God stepped foot on,
Mm.
you know. And then India is exactly in the middle, because the next place he stepped on might have been like the Andes mountain.
Mhm.
If I'm not, I might be saying the wrong one, but it's definitely beyond India. And he basically, God's supposed to land it Vishnu, the god Vishnu, in his other form as Vamana, which is pretty much like what we're saying of Vimana, which is those things that can fly, but Vamana is, basically who I featured in my Sonic versus my Sonic, the Hedgehog Decoded, showing you how Sonic is Vishnu. Well,
Uh-huh.
his form that he's truly Vishnu is when he's Vamana, because Vamana can take three uh three leaps, so to speak, and traverse the whole universe, which is really saying earth, heaven, and the underworld, or the universe, earth, and the underworld. So he can do that in just 3 steps.
Mm.
So back to Africa being ahead, right? And these seven lokas, right? And that kind of got me thinking of connotation and denotation, because the word loca uh, in slang Spanish means crazy,
Mm.
right? So these seven lokas, or these seven chakras, right?
Mm.
Where he where he where he started this building of, you know, the, so it's crazy to see these words and how they coincide, you know. And so when there was nothing left for the Lord to measure, right? So he measured the chakras out
Mm.
on on this Mother Earth, or on this being that sacrificed for us, right?
Mhm.
And the third portion of the land was promised to him. Wow. But it's, so seven chakras, and how I saw that map laid out, man, it's pretty trippy. Because what if there are these seven chakras, and these seven chakras, so Egypt would be the mind chakra, India would be the heart chakra, you know.
Mm.
Hey, man, yeah, that's beautifully put, brother. For real,
Mm.
because that's what people got to start to understand. I be saying the same thing when people don't want to connect with Earth. You feel me? But you think you're Aboriginal to anywhere, or indigenous to anywhere. You can't be. You know, if you
Huh.
are, then you are a part of the whole, as far as the indigenous community. That's what we need. We need a whole indigenous community. Like whoever is indigenous to any part of the world, we should be in unison with them. You
For
feel me?
Mhm.
sure. For
So
sure.
so we can bring that body back together. That's what we always say. We are here to what? Remember. Remember, or remember, meaning like to, the body's been dismembered. We have to remember the body of Asar. What is Asar? Asar is the green man. So we talking
Mhm.
about vegetation. We talking about earth. We got to
Yeah.
put the Allahs back together. The arm, legs, leg, arm, and head.
Right.
Like
Right.
we
Mm.
said,
At
down
these
to the
chakra
heart,
points.
the organs, the chakras, everything. For real.
Right. And
Yeah,
so
on an
man,
earthly level, grand level, grand scale.
it's crazy, man, because we think about the center of the earth, right, on that flat earth model, and that being the navel, and so Africa, the Bali, the head in Africa, you got that head, that mind chakra, right, in Egypt, and they constructed this temple. and then you have Moscow and India and all these other places where these devices, monuments were built, right, on this Mother Earth. If we're to say Africa was a person, if that head is really a head, and they're saying we lined up these, so we took these steps and we lined up the chakras from this deceased person, right? That we created Earth on, and we built these temples at these chakra points.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. What they call those like lifelines or ley lines, I guess. They call them ley lines. Those important centers of Earth. I mean, like the stomach, basically where Mother Earth dissolves everything. Her gastro, tract would have to be the Ring of Fire over there in the Pacific Ocean, where all those the world's most major volcanoes are. It's a whole ring of volcanoes. So, you know what I mean? Like that's the real purification process. All of the parts of the body doing their function. And I'm talking about on a motherly earth, scale also.
And so, that goes back to Osiris and Isis, right? Where she was trying to put this giant back together, right? And she was trying to put this giant back together. It sounds like basically that she's aligning the chakra points too.
Hey, watch this, because like I like this comment that Sister I Am Wisdom Faith brought up about Dr. Yafa, because the word indigenous, I was just saying this earlier to a friend, matter of fact, my brother, but the word indigenous is really associated with the word indigent. Indigent is when you are bankrupt, so to speak. So, that's not a status, and it's a status that people don't realize or not. You can have indigent status anytime you are poor. So like she's saying that the word should be indigenous, and I understand that because it's like saying dignity. You feel me? That's the first thing we have to have to be indigenous, not to be in meaning not. So it's like saying you don't have no dignity.
And by that same token, can't we do the same thing with the word aboriginal? Can we take that ab off and just be original?
Man, that's what
ab means not.
That they would have to, they need to look up.
In my mind.
Yeah, they need to look up the Moo people, MOO people, sometimes spelled MUU people. Like the tribe in this part of the world, the Americas, ancient people, which is really the Olmec, the Moo people. And then we are Moors, and Moo means original in this language.
So that name original, that's the one I like to use. I like to use original.
Yeah.
Well, use the mother tongue. Use the mother tongue, and the word is Moo. We are Moo. We are Moors. Yeah, that's right. In Washington. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what? Too, that word original. I'm thinking Orion.
Got you. Yeah. Ori. That's why we got to be the Orientals. We can't deny these kind of things and say we original, because Ori O-R-I means original. Right. So obviously the Orientals means the original people.
Yeah, and not just that. I mean,
we are the Asiatics. We are all
the
of that.
origin of people. The origin of people are original.
Yeah, I just gave it to you. For real. Oh, what is the right type of terms we should be using? It's definitely more when we dealing with these politics, when we dealing with law, you ain't gonna lose saying you're more, because then you can also use aboriginal and indigenous and all of that, because those words, however flawed they may be, those words are status refinements. You feel me? They are status refinement, but they are not a nationality. So if you don't nationalize, then you are still considered stateless. You feel me? So if you're stateless, then you're a ward of the whatever state you're in.
Right.
So you're still a slave. So like I said, you have to have a nationality. And then you can also correct your status, which would be the original people.
And I am wisdom. I'm gonna have to look up Dr. Yafa Bay. I've never heard of her.
Yeah, she's one of the only females that definitely do that. That's doing etymology. One of the good Moorish women that do etymology.
Right.
Well, I don't know. Well, she really says she's not a Moor anymore, or whatever. I don't know. You know how it goes. But you know, I wouldn't mind having her on the show because me and her,
Welcome
some
anytime.
etymology geeks, so to speak.
Right.
Yeah, we could build.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the Nazca lines, aka geoglyphs. You know, that's another name for a Nazca line. It's a geoglyph. You know, in South America and India. Now, this is something people didn't know because it's not old it's not old. This is fairly new. People didn't even know that they had it. India didn't even know they had a Nazca line.
Wow.
Damn.
You know, nobody knew they did.
So
and to me, those look like constellations.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
If they were stars.
So you got,
or basically these are the original hieroglyphs.
No way.
Yeah, way before you seen them writing on temple walls, the Nazca lines existed. Yeah.
So
in this
to me, them look like constellations to me, man. Especially that one in the center looked like that bird constellation. I forget the name of it. But look, even the tail end of the monkey, right, could be what we would know as the galaxy.
Yep. Yeah, exactly. Yep.
Who is that? Somebody.
It has to because it can't represent a monkey's tail. Not like that. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah. Right. And so this constellation of the monkey is probably something close to a galaxy. And here's his head and his arms, and it looks like this. What we're calling Taurus, they called the monkey.
Yeah.
And we saw the spider and the scorpion.
And autonomous is another one of those statuses that we definitely have to get acquainted with. Like this, those are things you can stand on when you have a nationality. Like we always point out, Barack Obama, he never told you he was African American. He told you he was a Kenyan American. So he showed you his nationality. He's a Kenyan American. So, we gotta do, put your tribe with your American status, whatever the case may be. You feel me? And join forces with Moors, Hebrews, anybody with some sense. I'm just saying.
Amen to that.
Don't be cutting people off just because they're African or African centered. If they got sense, deal with them. I don't understand none of them.
Hey, that's exactly how I live my life, bro. For real. So, you're talking about that in front of words, right? And so that man, like not man, but and that's it's kind of crazy stuff, man. How they conditioned us, everybody but man, human, the hues of men, but at the end, we ask this all, blah blah blah, amen, but not for men. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. I know what you're saying. So what's this? The Nazca lines found in India as well as South America, right? The Nazca lines, world record was broken when they discovered that there was a Nazca line in India all this time. Rajasthan, to be exact. So Rajasthan, India, They found the world's largest Nazca line, and they didn't even know it was there because it was so big. You had to be so high to know that there's actually even an image, which is that top image I have right there. But yeah, like Nazca lines are. See, that's why I had this first image, because when we call Nazca lines, like when I show these connections to these different places, I can show America and Egypt and all that, because at first I only picked two places I knew of that had Nazca lines was Africa and America. Well, particularly South America. And all of these are South American. All of these are scattered across the deserts and the mountains of South America. And in South Africa has some also. But what I'm getting at is nobody knew that India had one. And then, like I'm saying, that's only seen, but mainly in America. And what is this? This is a mandala. And what a mandala, the East Indians, who we call Hindu or Dravidian or whatever, they are synonymous with the mandala. Like everybody has to give them the credit. Like we would say they, brought the mandala to the world, which is this image right here, which is actually found in a Nazca line. And a Nazca line, it was so large, it took them a while to realize what they were looking at. It took people forever to realize what they were looking at. But how could a Nazca line be a mandala and not be Dravidian in origin? Or how could these not be the same people when this 5,000-year-old Nazca line is a Nazca line of a mandala?
Man,
coincidence, I think not,
It's definitely not coincidence, and it's technology, man. That's technology, and so they were saying that these images in South America, the one on the left, they use those for sound. They were sound devices, and so here's this sound device. I really think these cats were using them and as layouts, like she said, as above, so below. And they were laying these cities out and laying these plans out, just as they saw above. Exactly.
Yeah.
It's more the 12 houses of astrology. Yeah, you need one of those DJ horns, my man. You'd be like, bah, 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 bah. Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. Come on, and just like when Sister Yasini brought up earlier, how old on 5,000 years ago? Isn't that around the pre-dynastic period and all this? See, and the thing about it is, all of these people were charting the stars, so they were all getting the same message at the same time throughout all of this. So were they on the same page? Of course, they had to be in that. That's like saying, did they all watch the news?
And then
they all watched the stars. That was the news. That's where they got their information.
They did back then, except now we have major distractions. Like, let's say that we was on that intellect that they were on today, with all these distractions, all this shit, football, housewives, whatever. I don't know what people are watching, but my point is,
we talk about no football.
We would be on the shit too if we weren't so distracted.
I think that it's all being revealed to us, and that the distraction now is coming, is that we're distracted with this now. And that the way that we're using this technology is like the same way they did. Like I said, like I'm pretty sure somebody in Nigeria, somebody in Kazakhstan has a cell phone, and so now you got a group of people, just like ourselves, that are linking this information, right? And they're like, hey, we got to do something about it. We got to memorialize this for the next generations.
And I said, do you think Mark Zuckerberg or the Google team and all of them figured out that Negroes was gonna take your technology and then flip it to some real stuff that they had no
Yeah,
idea Facebook was gonna turn into the Facebook that it is. They didn't know that YouTube was gonna turn into a school
right.
for Negroes.
Amen. Amen. Yeah,
They had no
I
idea
like
this was gonna happen.
you, man. You right about that. You right about that because it sure is, man. And I like how it's uniting us because in certain school dynamics. I'm sorry to break off topic, but certain school dynamics, uh, people have their biases and their bigotries. Well, here it's just, we all understand the biases and bigotries that we've gone through, and so school and class is this mutual transference of information more than it is one person talking, everyone listen, you know. And so it's beautiful. You're right. They messed up and they allowed us to connect with each other all over.
Yes,
And,
you
and what
better
was
do a
in us
trial. You better do a
was the
trial
truth.
first.
What was in us was we's gonna figure this out. You understand what I'm saying?
We gonna figure this out.
Yeah.
Yes, yes, and quick. They had
Come
no
on, man.
idea Facebook was gonna be what it is.
For us.
Super had no idea YouTube was gonna be what it is. They still trying to contain us now. It's like, oh my God, there's truth everywhere. We got to shut this down.
Yep. Yep. And I like that shot that organized noise took it the word Peru, even
Okay.
though the letter J ain't sufficeable either, which it could be Haru, of course. But what I'm saying is there was no letter P. You
Right.
know, a lot of times it was the letter B, but I'm still more inclined that it's more, it's pretty much like Haru.
Well, come
Yeah.
on now. And now we're
Or
talking about that they said that the sun rose in
yeah,
Heru,
yeah. And watch this. And watch this. What you say? Say it again.
that the sun rose in Heru.
Mm.
Yeah.
And so
And
then
Earth God, hey brother, and we speaking on the earth, and the earth God spoke. You feel me? And and in chapter 1, Earth God said, Peru equals Haru.
Oh
Peru
yeah.
means people that worship the sun. And then we just speak on how Peru is the land of the rising sun,
Yes.
according to the Hindu, who have the oldest culture,
Yeah.
surviving culture in the world.
So Calico.
So if there was a world war, I must believe that they won that motherfucker because they are still standing strong on an ancient, platform. They still standing on the ancient platform,
Yeah.
so to speak.
And you might have won something too, Calico, because if you connecting this like this, what if let's bring Russia in, let's bring Australia in, let's go back to like the ancient or archaic history and
Hey,
see
watch
what their
this.
drawings are.
Watch this. We're gonna
What's
do
their
a
drawing?
video. Mark my words. We're gonna do a video called Russians Ain't Russian.
oh,
They ain't the real Russians. They ain't,
No, they're not. But who are
like
their
now these people
ancestors?
from Poland and Switzerland and
Who are their ancestors?
say y'all, I'm sorry, I want to like go off on it, but have you guys ever heard of a surreal energy device? SEARL energy device.
now
Does
I
it
heard
have
of
something to
surreal,
do
but I
with the
didn't know it was an
sun?
energy device. Yeah.
Yeah, it's SEARL, like seer and an L at the end. Energy device, right? And it looks like a Mandela,
Hold on.
right?
You said sear L?
Yeah,
So it sounds like they're trying to sear, like, cut like an L, like God. You feel me? Like this is,
man,
yeah, that's ugly.
man. So how this thing works, right? This magnetic center, right? And so the constellations. So here's this magnetic center where the waters flow in and out of this magnetic center. And there's constellations, the constellations above, moving above. And so over here in this Nazca line, here's where they found one of these chakras or lokas that they said earlier, right? And they mapped it out. They mapped it out. This is where one of these magnetic devices is underneath this land, right?
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. So basically a magical place, a magical
Come on
center
now.
of Earth. Yeah. Mm-hmm. For real. So that's why they probably would definitely have tunnel systems in those areas, because they want to know what is that pulling, what is that magical feel in this area? Let's go closer to that source.
Well, like real talk, what do we use tunnels for today? We use tunnels to hide the wires. You dig? We use tunnels. We use tunnels to hide the what do they call it? The fiber optics. You dig what I'm talking about? So these tunnels, these huge old tunnels, lead to this point in this device. And then because they may have ran cables through these tunnels. You dig what I'm saying?
Yeah, 100.
That's why we use them today.
Hey, Sister Yasini, can you read this one?
Yeah. Indian mandala found in Peru's Nazca lines. So perhaps more interesting than the figures of animals and the zigzag lines is one unusual image known as the mandala. This image is extremely remote and sits atop an arid mountain plateau. Mandalas are circular designs symbolizing the notion that life is never ending. So the Hindus were one of the first people to use a mandala as a spiritual tool, but the mandalas most individuals are familiar with are the ones made by Buddhists. Okay. And where is it on there? Where's the mandala made by Buddhists?
They're just saying that when you see most of them,
Today?
they were made. Yeah. You're just saying people from that craft, but it's all from that same culture. Is what I'm saying. These East Indian, people that have so much in common with the West Indians.
What does the spiritual tool look like?
The mandala?
Yeah.
That's it right there to the bottom.
Bottom left? Bottom right?
Bottom right.
Oh, for me, it's the right.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the center of the earth, they're trying to mimic this technology, right? From the navel.
Yeah. It's like saying a Ouija board, but this is way deeper than that. This is where they get the ideas. What the thing they do Ouija on would have been done on a mandala.
Mm-hmm.
If you watch like the center of France, I forget the name of what they call that place, right? The center of the world. They tell us, the North Pole, the center, this naval area, and I think these are these chakra points. You dig what I mean? These are these chakra points where they're like, hey, if we can build off of this mandala, then we can harness this energy from this chakra. But they're using us. They're using us as the energy instead of the chakra.
Yeah, and this is coming from Hopi mythology, right? The Hopi Indians, and the Hopi Indian mythology has a prophecy about the blue star Kachina, right? And this is the last slide before we close out, and I'm gonna let Sister Yasini do the honors.
Yeah, and I've been listening a lot to the Blue Star Kachina. Well, okay, so ancient Hopi Indian prophecy states, quote, when the Blue Star Kachina makes its appearance in the heavens, The fifth world will emerge, end quote. This will be the day of purification. So the happy name for the star Sirius is Blue Star Kachina. It will come when the Sasquatch, Blue Star Kachina, dances in the plaza, and removes its mask. Let me state in the plasma and removes its mask because I promise you, this is happening right now today. The Blue Star Kachina is dancing in the sun's plasma.
As soon as it hits Ursa Minor, we're in trouble. Yeah. As soon as they get to Ursa Minor.
Or basically he is dancing or whatever, swimming in the yoni versus plasma.
Ooh, yes.
Yes.
Plasma indeed. Okay, so the Blue Star Kachina historically begins when the blue or green skin have bloodlines from these places in the cosmos. Osiris, Vishnu, Shiva, Wadaj, I know I'm pronouncing it wrong, Wadaj,
Poseidon.
Okay, and Wajet, Isis, Thoth, or Tahuti / Hermes, Posidion.
Yeah.
These are the ancestors of the Syrians and Venusians.
Yeah. So we're saying that historically. Yeah.
This is prophecy.
Well, I like to think of it as mechanics. These are the mechanics of the realm. As soon as this blue star comes, the it's going to make this shift, right?
The blue star is here.
Yeah, and it's part of the mechanics of the realm, And so they want us thinking it's not a device, that we're not living within a device, And so they're saying, this astronomical thing, when really it's within the plasma, you know what I'm saying, of the firmament. Right. And so they're saying all these things are happening in the firmament, giving us clue to these times. Right.
Exactly. And so when I said plasma, I could very well have said ether.
Amen. And you right about that.
Yes, sir.
Come on, man. Like I like how we are decoding this stuff. You know what I'm saying? Because they did leave it for us to see, but they went, like that part of thought. Like I like they said thought is responsible for writing. Thought is responsible for writing. And so this idea of who thought is, right? And thought is within all of us. We all have this capacity to think. But what they did, they said, they worshiped the bird head man, you dig? And this bird head man taught them how to write, when it's really, thought is responsible for writing. You feel me? This part of your brain looks like an ibis bird. It's responsible for writing.
Yeah. So I presented that to a black scholar, and he told me, he said, thought has a woman standing behind him, Sashat, making sure that is true to his scribe.
Hey, watch this. Hey, I'm gonna say Thoth is a crane. I mean, he's that crane kind of a bird, so to speak.
It's an ibis.
Like to truly show his primordial roots, because the goddess Neggur, 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 the goddess Neggur is what we get like the mythology of a swan or something, bringing babies. You know how they use the stork would bring a baby. So basically, the goddess Neggur birthed Ra. You feel me? This is, Egyptian mythology that you know, the goddess Nega birthed Ra, which was the golden egg. You know what I mean? So it's showing that Thoth is older than, you know, basically like maybe even older than Ra, or he's coming from the original source because he's coming from like that goddess Nega. Like he looks more like the stork than any other god that we know of in Egypt. So he is of that primary.
Yeah. That picture right there that you got up right there, the one with the map. If you can you send that slide to me, my man? I just want to cut it and reshape it and see where those chakras align.
That's real.
Yeah, but that's exactly right. And so, you know, like they're saying, so you saw where Africa was, right? And if we shift South America 90 degrees, right, so that it's laid out flat out. And so where Africa is, there's a sun system. And where South America is, there's a sun system, right? And coincidentally, when the day turns to night on this part of the sphere, day begins on the other part of the sphere, right? And this mandala. So say back with that mandala picture, right? Those are those 4 suns my man was talking about. Oh, it's trippy. I don't want to go into it.
Right. And so what I Am Wisdom Faith is saying that Thoth transcribed the writing from the source, the Great Mother. So the Great Mother would be a Ma'at. However, as he is writing down the words of Ma'at, he is also say like you know how like in a Baptist or a Pentecostal church where if you're gonna speak in tongues, then you need to have that person in the church to make sure that you're not, you know, speaking the wrong tongues, in other words, or for lack of a better phrase. Seshat would be that one standing over the back of the scribe Thoth. And I only assigned myself to this theory once I was shown this book by this black herbalist and metaphysicist who showed me the book, and I'm sure I'm gonna have to bring it one day, of Thoth writing, and then Seshat standing behind him, watching him scribe. So the Great Mother and the consort are not the same people as when it comes to Thoth and him scribing.
Right. You know, like I try to take like a real practical approach to it. You know what I mean? And so like that idea that this part of your brain that's shaped like this is responsible for this. You know, and so like from my understanding, the Egyptians, the systems of the body were proof of the gods. You know, and so you had the parasympathetic nervous system and the sympathetic nervous system, right? Represented by the staff of who is it? Is Stockiles, one of those cats with the staff with the 2 snakes going up on it, right? And that was a system of the body where the Egyptians considered it divinity.
Asclepius. Matter of fact, it's Asclepius. Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. And that's just the Greek name for Imhotep.
And so those 2 systems, those 2 snakes, is your parasympathetic nervous system and your sympathetic nervous system.
There you go.
One is responsible for fight or flight, and the other one is responsible for disgust or arousal, right? And so these cats, they said, no, if you feel fight or flight, you need to cut your penis off. If you get aroused, you need to cut your penis off. You know what I mean? Instead of them saying, no, this is a system in your body, it's responsible for this and that. You know, it's proof of the gods. You know, and this is how it works, right? But they saw it and said, oh, a snake whispered in her ear. No, she was tempted. You know what I mean? By this system in her body.
Yeah.
Hey, and it's deep because people don't understand, like you said, the sympathetic and the parasympathetic, right?
Right.
And then people don't understand. There's a such thing as sympathetic magic. Huh?
Talk to him, man.
And of course, we know people will con you using your sympathy against you. You know what I mean? So it's so deep and it's so much. Like, how could there be a such thing as sympathetic magic if it didn't conquer your sympathetic nervous system? You know what I mean? For real.
Yeah, for real. Man, this was so much fun, guys. I appreciate you guys inviting me in on the chat and inviting me in on the live.
I appreciate
that's a lot of work. That's a lot of work. How many slides is that, my man, if you don't mind me asking?
I believe it's 29.
Oh, yeah.
Just 29. You know, it's just 29.
No, man, that's a lot
but
of work.
It got the info, though. You know, it's meat and potatoes. It's meat and potatoes, man. You know,
milk for babies, meat for grown men.
Yep. For real.
For real.
Hey, but we definitely appreciate you, you know, filling in at the last moment and popping up, man, because, you know, you already know we really overdue. Like, I've been trying to get you on here, and I'm going to get you back. Yeah. And that's the brother McKinley Cougar, you know.
And
peace and love. We got to get some of your music and everything on here.
Peace and love, McKinley. You made our Dios trio.
Yeah, righteous. You did. You know, I step in, provide that energy anytime y'all want. We get these devices working. Yes, it was good seeing you, Sister Yaxini. And D Calico, you know what it is, my dude. Yeah, like I said, I was thinking about you, and you sent me the link, man. So that was kind of like divine intervention right then. You dig?
That's for sure. Hey,
for sure, man.
And we're gonna show them how we close it out. I hope you enjoy this too, brother.
Appreciate it. Y'all be good.
All the time, and I swear it won't stop. People throwing shade, I be throwing sun rays. Some people won't fade, I be putting you
I wrote about the stars, I wrote about the moon, I wrote about things in the sky that go boom. I wrote about death, I wrote about life, I wrote in the morning, afternoon, and at night. I constantly search for new ideas. I talk to my elders, my friends, and my peers. I study astronomy, history, and religion. My analytical mind is constantly on a mission. Struggling and striving for the perfect poem, bracing myself for the perfect brainstorm. The more that I write, the more that I note. My best poem yet is yet to be wrote. Yeah.